Hi, I'm Florian. I'm a professional options and futures trader, and I just wanted to go over some trades I took today. Today's the 9th of June 2025. There were some nice helps in the market, even though the overall markets weren't moving much, doing a lot of progress to either sides. But there were some names within the market, some stocks where some option plays were possible, and I was able to take advantage of them as well. So let's get right into it. Have a look at this immediate trade where we're looking for the hold of yesterday's high from Friday, as well as a hold from way back when, and then seeing some upside motion from that. We saw a strong pump off the open here with an aggressive pullback into it, but buyers were able to step up here. We saw some nice upside movement. If we then go down to 2 minutes, you can see this kind of double bottoming motion here where we just don't get the sell continuation and this very aggressive buying candle that was able to recapture these highs with some nice volume coming in here. And as it was then making this higher low kind of bull flag idea, holding this recent high here, this actually then where I entered my position, going long with two contracts, targeting these highs up here. So this is what actually happened. As I said, I entered my position here and we saw some upside movement, but then a big pullback. But as it was still holding above the highs and still holding this kind of double bottom neckline here, there was no real reason for me to ever exit the position. So as buyers were then able to kind of step in after this more of an exhaustion sell-off here, we saw some aggressive buying coming in, breaking this high, holding it on the retest here, which gave me more confidence to actually stay within the trade, and then seeing the nice upside movement here with some strong buy exhaustion, where I then actually kind of hit the top on my exit. I exited on this candle right here. As you can see, after that, it was just selling off for the rest of the day, as we just saw this very strong buying exhaustion here on the break of the opening high. Then the next stock I want to talk about quickly is the Microsoft, as it was it broke. So basically, Microsoft broke previous all-time highs on the Friday session here, and it was able to close back above. And we opened up higher here on today's session, on the Monday session, saw some initial selling, but buyers were quickly able to hold and recapture the Thursday high here. And you can just see some nice buy holding coming in with this very strong trend buying candle here with some nice volumes increasing into then this high low holding Viva up the purple line, making just this very clean hold on the 15. If you go into the 5 minute, you can see similarly, it's kind of raging here for a bit. Buyers aren't just able to hold prices up. It breaks out, holds the range retest into into an immediate high low, which usually I don't really like because strength doesn't seem that high at the moment. And you can see like if you just imagine these candles not being here, you can see these highs kind of stepping in here, which is not the greatest idea ever. But you then see some very aggressive buying coming in to break higher, break these highs from Friday, hold above them, and kind of trend higher into end of day. It's just a very nice pattern here playing out with this idea of recapturing the highs, being able to hold above it, retest holding the range, and then with some nice upside push here into actually new all-time highs, breaking the high from Friday as well. The next trade I want to briefly touch upon is this Palantir trade, which, to be fair, I wasn't really the biggest fan of, which is why I also didn't take it. But because I was looking at Palantir, before this day, I really didn't know where this was going to go. It was just a super choppy range, and we saw this strong sell-off on Thursday and bit of a recovery on Friday here. But you actually on the open, you saw selling coming in, buyers stepping in very hardly, a harsh though here on this Friday range halt. With some, and then it was just kind of trend buying higher on the 5 minutes. You can see it was just like a clean trend, like a very steep but clean trend higher here, holding this trend line here perfectly, right? Like it's just a very nice channel higher. So I think you could have like looked for entries here on kind of this hold here, not the most ideal entry on this high hold here for the next high low, not the most ideal entry in my books either. But then as it was breaking this Friday high, let me actually mark it out for you, this Friday high right here, and then was able to hold it on the retest, especially with the 15 minute making this kind of 3 bar hold of yesterday's high. I think this is kind of where the best entry on the day for Palantir actually was, if you trade my strategy on this kind of break and retest idea. And then even there you saw some nice 2.5% upside into end of day based off that hold. Unfortunately, I didn't see it as it was happening, but that was definitely a trade that should be taken in any circumstances where you do see it. Then next up, we have the Disney trade, where Disney is kind of if you look at the daily, I think it's pretty clear to tell. Like you just had this nice hold over like a few weeks with some upside motion here. The 4 hour selling off, holding it quickly, being able to recapture these highs here. And then yesterday or on the Friday session, you saw some upside movement already. And now on today's session, on the Monday session, you saw this quick move higher off the open, then holding above the highs from the Thursday session as well as the Friday session. And just kind of buyers being able to hold similarly to how Microsoft was able to hold it. With then this really clean rejection, 15-minute rejection candle coming in here for this new fire. And then Tuesday's high from last week's holding here with the double rejection attempt, with buyers clearly wanting to kind of step in here. And then you see this influx of volume coming in as we're moving higher with this strong aggressive trend buying coming in, which I really, really like here on this position. And then you see this very strong push into the end of day, making for a really nice day on Disney. Very large green candle, as you can see here. So that was definitely a nice break and retest of these highs that had been building throughout the last week. And then the last trade I want to look at is actually a short. So the only short that I was interested in today, and actually did take as well, is this AFCO position where AFCO just sold off post earnings right here, fading back below some highs from like a while back. Also like fading back below previous all-time high, which is quite a significant level. And then you see this kind of upside movement attempt here off the open, moving back into the Friday range. But then some nice 15-minute rejection counts coming in here with some nice upper wicks here. And then failing back below yesterday's low, where it then makes this kind of quick lower high here. Actually enters a bit early, but then makes this quick lower high here for this kind of flush lower as it's failing back below yesterday's low and a recent high here, just for this kind of head and shoulders idea, or more of like a look above and fail idea, where you see this kind of volume coming in on buy extortion here. Buyers are not able to hold prices, and then you see this quick flush lower for a quick trade with some nice trend selling coming in. But yeah, that was all for the day. Obviously, I've been away for quite a while. I've had some stuff to deal with and a lot of trading stuff. I haven't really had time to do this, but I look forward to kind of doing more videos again. Also, this kind of like YouTube videos. I've been doing some shorts, but kind of longer YouTube videos. I've also been thinking about doing some like technical stuff. The only thing is with my strategy, like or the way I trade, it's very difficult to teach since it's not like a clear cut strategy like a ICT would be or something like that, which I guess makes it a bit better than ICT if I be honest, because the market's a complex environment. So a simple strategy like that, I don't think really works out in the long run, but whatever. But yeah, I was thinking about maybe doing some videos in that regard as well. But let me know if you enjoy that. And I hope you took away some nice kind of trade ideas, some nice ways of looking at the market from this video. And with that being said, stay safe out there, traders. SCG.